Alright, there we go. Alright, welcome to a new Let's Play of Eternal Sonata done by just Suro because someone didn't want to do it either, or play either. Loser. Anyway, though. Oh, no need for that. So yeah, we're going to be starting ourselves a fun little game of a very, if you couldn't tell by the music notes and the friggin' title, musically based game. Anyway, let's begin.
Prepare yourselves, guys, for the longest fucking cutscene you're ever gonna see in a video game.
Actually, no, this isn't the longest one either.
It's not?
No.
Who's longer?
I'm not telling you. No, this game does have some long cutscenes, but this little beginning one is actually not the longest.
Really?
Yeah. And also, this beginning part, actually, that one of our characters is narrating, is actually talking about a girl.
Really?
Yes.
She was only 14.
Oh, okay.
And not a girl you're thinking of.
What did she do?
Not a girl I'm thinking of?
Yeah, it may not be who you're thinking it is.
Really?
Because remember, she cherished and loved music.
I'll never forget her.
Oh.
Even if the cruel passage of time should wear the
I
threads
still don't
of
get
my
it, but
memory
okay.
so thin, I will always remember.
Oh, God.
Once we meet the guy who actually narrates this, I will actually say who he indeed was talking about.
A new journey
Okay.
begins.
Sounds good to me.
But yeah, there's not really much to truly explain to this beginning because you really don't know what's going on. So just let the cutscene talking go for itself.
I was gonna say, it's a cliche of anime-based video games and animes itself that in the very beginning, they always talk about something, the character and the player has no idea what it is, and then throughout the game you learn, and then you play a second time, and you're like,
Not really with Eternal Sonata. I've beaten this once, and I still don't get it.
Comes to an end.
really?
Yeah, I still don't even get it. It's not explained well. Okay, so if anyone doesn't know, Eternal Sonata was actually originally released on the Xbox 360. And because, you know, game developers like to do this apparently, they decided to release it for the PlayStation 3 and add a whole bunch of extra goodies. Like, this whole beginning cutscene is not... Like, right here is where the Xbox 360 version starts. That whole beginning cutscene you just saw, not in there. That was a new addition. Because, you know, they like to do that. Release a game with, you know, a whole bunch of extra stuff.
This is easy if it's for him.
So yeah, there's a whole bunch of little extra things. You get 2 new party members, there's extra costumes for certain characters, extra dungeons, so on and so forth. And also there are extra scenes in it, like that beginning one, which actually explain the story a little bit better, so I'm kind of hoping as I play through this, and I play through it on my own, it'll explain the story a bit better, because even I don't get the whole thing. They just didn't explain it very well. And if they did, then maybe I just didn't get it the first time I played, and I need to replay this again.
Maybe.
But honestly, I do not think they explained it well in the Xbox 360 version, so...
And I just want to mention this much. To be honest, I've never played the whole way through this game. I started it, and I stopped it, and never picked it back up again. Which really sucks, because I've seen the ending. I know the ending of the game, because we watched the ending played at a friend's house way back in the day when we were first introduced to it. And that's all I know about it. The beginning and the end. Literally nothing in between makes any sense to me otherwise.
So yeah, now we're going to kind of get a little explanation on this world that our story takes place in, with lots of detail.
It's novel-like detail in itself, which isn't always a bad thing, but she hates it.
I just don't think it's really necessary. I mean, yes, the scene's pretty, but we can move on to the main story. We don't need to know, like, how bright red and brilliant yellow things are, or how pretty and green the grass is. I mean, it's like a friggin' Charles Dickens novel. It's like Great Expectations detail. I mean,
we all know how much we hated Great Expectations.
My hairdresser liked Great Expectations.
Really?
She liked the book. But I digress. Yeah, it's like I said, it's like a friggin' Charles Dickens novel. You don't need to. It like gives you so much detail. Like
when
Pippin leaned down, the grass was so green. It was very green today. The grass that was very green was so green. It's like it's just all this detail you don't need to know.
Exactly. But I mean, the visuals speak for themselves. It's still very pretty.
Yeah,
and
the narrator doesn't need to speak for it.
I know.
It just little things like that. I'm like, come on, game. You don't need to tell us. It's like. Yeah, it's cool. Like, you can tell us the name of the town. Like, yeah, it's a small village nestled deep in the woods. Cool. And you can tell us the name, but you don't need to tell us, like, how far it is from, like, another town or stupid things like that. I don't need to know. I don't really care.
9:35 and 4.8 seconds in the morning. Tenuto.
Yeah, we don't need to know that.
The name of the village.
And it's
Speaking of the devil.
And it's not 9:35 in the morning. It's noon. It's 12:11.
I was joking around. Shush.
I thought you were reading your clock somewhere else. That's like completely
No.
off time.
Wow, I can't believe I actually got the right time on it. My clock is like it's 4 hours faster, or 3 or 4 hours faster than on my computer. It's 4 hours slower than it is on my real clock. So it says 9:12 right now on that clock, and I was totally making that number up, by the way. So my bad.
Okay, yeah. Now that we're finally kind of coming to the close of learning about, like, what this little town of Tenuto is called, actually, shut up and let the main parts of the story actually listen to, since you should pay attention since you've never played it. You need to pay attention to this. Not this part, though. We'll stop talking once it's, like, done. I mean... Yeah.
Thing is, I meant to commentate. This is my channel. I can commentate if I want to.
Yeah, but you should shush when it is important parts of the story, though, because, like, the whole beginning part, like, which we'll come to very soon, is actually kind of important, because it actually narrates back to a scene we just saw earlier. Which you don't get until you get to near the end of the game, which then it's like, but why?
No such shops are to be found.
Oh yeah, and don't worry, once we get to what I said is the longest cutscene in this game, I will point it out, because it is really long.
How long exactly?
Almost strangely quiet.
It's from beginning to end. It's a good 30 minutes.
Really?
Yeah. It is a long scene, and it's like, it's still going. Why? Okay, yeah, no, this is where important stuff happens, so we'll be quiet. You can make silly little commentary in between, but we'll try not to talk through the whole thing, so you can understand.
I've watched this before.
Okay, so here we go. We got mommy and daughter walking through some field of flowers. About to talk about the meaning of life. In a sense.
Mommy,
Yes.
why are there waves in the sea? Well, darling, there are waves because of the moon. Because of the moon?
That makes sense.
That's right. The moon charms the water in the ocean with its beauty.
That does not make
Because the
sense.
moon
Hey,
is
it
so
could
bright,
in this
the
world.
seawater just can't sit
True,
still.
but like, it's just...
This is Eternal Sonata, bitch! You don't know how this world works! Anyway, though, did you see? Your heart starts fluttering when you see the moon. It happens.
I do.
I am technically my sign is the moon, technically,
What
for,
about the
like,
puddle? Will
because
you
I'm a
get waves
Cancer,
from the
and I'm
moon
water,
too?
and water and moon are kind of connected. So, yes,
dear.
I
There's not
understand the
enough water.
moon, the love
You
of the
need
moon.
lots and lots
So there
of
you go.
water, like the ocean. before
That wasn't to try to make your point right, I was just saying.
Oh, I see. But that's weird. Why can't a little bit of water make waves too?
That's a good question.
The amount of water is the most important part of creating waves. That can be said about people as well. There are many things in this world that can charm people's hearts, just like the moon charms the sea. Things like wealth, vanity, status, image, and power.
This just took a very serious turn.
I told you they pretty much talk about like the philosophy of life.
I know,
In
but
a
like,
sense. I mean, it is kind of weird that she is saying this to like her maybe 5?
I want to say about
6-year-old? I'm not sure age-wise on how old she's supposed to be, but it is kind of an interesting thing to be telling your little kid. That you know, like
that's just making them. That's just begging to turn your child into a realist. You know, most people want.
But she does admit that it's probably a little hard for her to understand at her age.
I was gonna say, but at the same time, that is begging for your child to either become pessimistic or realistic. You're not. You want a child who is born to be optimistic.
Here's the weird thing they just can't listen to.
The only way to stop it would be for you to jump into the ocean. Because when you do, those big waves will become calm again.
What the fuck?
It may be difficult to do, but if you can be very brave, you'll bring joy to the person who means the most to you.
That makes no sense. Jump into the ocean to make the one that you love happy. What does that mean?
Really, though.
That is something that the last time we touched on this, I don't remember.
That's because we talked through this whole scene. That's why I said you have to be quiet through this whole scene. Because this whole is very important. Because if you remember from a scene that happened earlier, that this talks about that right afterwards, and then what happened later in the game. But anyway, it's October 16th, 1849, 10:48 p.m., number 12. Well, we're in France. Let's just cut to the chase and say that.
Fine.
We're in France. We're with this dude. He's resting. Which is accurate to say.
Yes.
He seems to have calmed down, hasn't he, Doctor? He doesn't look like he's in pain the way he did before.
It seems as though he must be having a pleasant dream.
Yes. Well, that would be nice. It would be even better if that means he's headed towards recovery. A full recovery.
It's said that people can have the most peaceful dreams just before they pass on.
Way to be a Debbie Downer, bro.
What are you talking about? How can you say that?
Exactly.
It is kind of a sad thing to say, but it's also maybe kind of like a nice thing to know that they'll be at least at peace before he passes. But hey, we don't want him to go. We want this kid to make a full recovery.
Kid?
Yeah, he's this crazy kid to make a full recovery, and he's not a kid though. He really isn't. He's actually
39.
Yeah, he's old. He's an old dude, but he don't look 39. He does look like a kid. Come on.
I mean, when I look at the camera, when I look at the, like I think I said this before, when I look at the television and I look at the camera on my computer, on the television, you can see the lines under his eyes, which make him look older. On my computer, you cannot. It's whitewashed.
Anyway, path to Tenuto. We're heading home. And remember that little girl we saw at the very beginning? There she is. She's all grown up. Well, grown up as you can get at the age of 14.
I guess.
So yeah, this is our main character.
But she never stopped wearing the color pink.
Pinkish, red, coral, salmon, somewhere in between. But yeah, this is our main character. Her name is Polka. And she's an adorable little cutie.
Yes. She's an adorable baby flower.
I gotta turn the controller back on now.
I told you!
I was gonna say, and we can start moving. Yep. And get to this. Save the game.
Cool. This game is an action RPG. That should have been obvious, but it is an action RPG. Well, that wouldn't have been obvious.
Well, it's a JRPG.
Same diff.
There's actually a big difference between action RPGs and JRPGs.
As you can see, we had started a whole bunch of files.
But we won't go into that. Anyway,
yeah.
We're in Chapter 1, Raindrops. Time to fight something. I am not going to be doing the tutorial battle. I'll just explain how this game's fighting thing works.
Without too much trouble. But just to be safe, I'll go over the basics of how to fight again.
there is no need for that, Polka. I shall be talking about it. Basically, you have your little bar there on the side that starts at like 5 seconds. Once I move or attack, the bar will start going down. If I stop attacking or moving, the bar will stop. And I can kind of think about what to do. This is only at our certain party level. As we progress in it, time will go faster and things will get harder. So you kind of have to think faster on your feet. So here we go. Okay, yeah. Another difference in this between this version and the Xbox 360 version, you don't get as much XP in the PlayStation version. It really sucks. So they level up slower. So I'm gonna be fighting everything in like my path so I can level these kids up.
Which means I will be cutting out bits and pieces of these episodes so that you guys are only seeing the best of the best parts of this thing. Anything boring is gonna be let out because there probably will be a lot of silence between the two of us while we're fighting, unless there is something magical that happens in which we have to speak. So anything that's boring, any of the fighting, we'll probably cut out some battles or cut out some stuff. So you guys will be seeing nothing but the best during this LP.
Yeah. It's also for the best as well because I will be doing a lot. What's also interesting too is that because of the slower level progression, and weirdly also, I don't think it's because of it, but some characters' moves are actually learned at different levels. There's actually only 2 characters in this whole game who keep their same movesets at the same levels, and when they come in, I will actually tell you them. And I can also, if I do it properly, I'll use O to guard, and also depending where you're standing in the light of the dark, you can use different special attacks, which I'll do later. Because for now,
and you want to hit them from the back.
Yeah, because they can guard in the front too. But you see, when I'm in the light, I can heal myself with Orange Glow.
In the shade, she's got a different power.
Which is a more offense attack, which is Shade Comet. Polka has mostly light. Most of her skills are light, so because she mostly heals and everything. She also has a really OP healing move later in the game, which it's just so OP, it's great.
I know I can do it.
But yeah, if you attack these guys from the back, they can't guard, and it's pretty, nice. The thing is, though, it works the other way. If the enemy attacks you from behind, you can't guard, and there's a chance they can easily kill you. Luckily, these things are pretty easy, so we have no problems with, Also, fun little thing, too, it's a little hard to tell with actually a Polka's weapon, but in this game, as we mentioned, because it's so musical themed, everyone's weapon actually has some kind of remnants of a musical instrument. Polka's is supposed to be a flute and everything, but it's a little hard to tell because of the umbrella. But if you look closely at the handle, you can see little holes on it, as where you would do when you played the flute or like the recorder.
Recorder. Did I ever show you the picture of? It says, "Do you have a friend? Do you know someone with kids? Do you hate that person?"
I saw that.
What it was it was a picture that said, "Do you know someone with kids? Do you hate them?" And it was a picture of a recorder with Frozen music.
But yeah, poor Polka's sad now because nothing wants to go near her, and nobody.
It was a freaking squirrel, dude. Don't beat yourself up over a freaking squirrel.
Well, after what she's been through today. Let's see what she's been through today, and then you'll see why she's beating herself up over a squirrel. But yeah, she's a floral powder sales girl. It's pretty much just like, natural medicine, stuff like that. Oh, hey, look! If you saw in the background, you saw 2 other characters we'll be meeting later.
Mm-hmm.
I actually never noticed that the first time, but that's pretty funny.
Why would anyone need that stuff?
Unfortunately, though, floral powder, not easy to sell these days thanks to mineral powder, which is much cheaper, much easier to make, and does the job just as well. And everything. So, a little hard to sell.
I guess no one around here wants to buy it.
Everybody is a prick in this town, basically.
Not everybody. It's just
okay,
not easy to sell. It's just not easy to sell here, because technically the lady was saying she didn't mean to be rude, but she just probably can't sell here.
Just because you say, I don't mean to be rude, it doesn't mean that doesn't expel the fact that you're rude!
Well, yeah, but...
So, you know what?
Plus,
Whatever.
this is literally the only place where she could sell, because it's the closest place to Tenuto, without her having to literally travel outside of the place.
Are you alright?
little town, the little place she's in now is actually called Retordondo. Oh yeah, she can also do this. Magic!
And by the way, for you guys, what I'm gonna do during this LP is any musical references, anything like that that has to deal with musical references such as names, such as places and things, anything that has to deal with music. Well,
Aww, that's sad. You don't have to be like that, man. I healed you. Just saying. Thanks would be nice. Yeah, it was pretty cool of a kid. Your hat's kind of weird, but whatever.
I never noticed the kid's accordion.
You know, that's what he does. He just stands around, plays the accordion, told not to go near glowing girls. It's a good life.
But yeah,
Minus the glowing girl part. I mean, wouldn't you want to hook up with a glowing girl? But
I would.
Maybe that's just me. Anyway, though, you can see she did not have a Polka here. Has not had a good day. Because, you know, no person wants to go near her in, well, Retordondo at least. And, no animals don't want to go near her.
But anyways, what I was saying before I got rudely interrupted by that guy freaking out. Any musical styles, musical instruments, anything that is mentioned during this game, I'm going to actually make a small commentary in the thing on, via editing, just about what kind of, like, thing they are, about their, like, pasts or anything like that. Such as what polka is, which is a type of musical style. On the bottom, I will tell you what polka is. So, just an example. You've probably already seen it by now, so just saying it's a thing that's gonna happen. Just so that you guys can learn something today. Because learning is fun, kids.
Yeah, and there's lots of musical references in this game. Like, everything in its, like, mother is named after something musical-wise.
Seriously. It's kind of cool, though. I mean, there's a lot with musical stuff that you can create that will have a good effect on, like, somebody's name.
It died. It's like, the, like, death was, like, delayed, and it just died after, like, my turn
I think I saw that. I'm watching my game capture to make sure that this thing doesn't glitch. We had some problems before, but now the problems seem to be fixing themselves, which is kind of nice.
Almost leveled up. I think I'll probably get to Tenuto, though, before I can. Yep. Weirdly enough, like, unless I went back from the beginning to, like, grind myself up to, like, a certain level, I could never level up. I think in the Xbox 360 version I could get to level 2 before Tenuto, but whatever. We'll have another chance. I'll be grinding a lot in this game.
Yeah, and the
because
PlayStation...
the difficulty level of this game literally just spikes up and down all the time. But anyway, here we are at Tenuto Village. We don't really talk much about it because the narrator did that for us in the beginning of the game. It's pretty, it's green, it's lush. There's lots of green here. Painters run out of green paint all the time. Anyway, though.
Anyways, we're going to cut the episode off here for now, you guys. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Please like, comment, subscribe for more. I do videos like this every other day. Talk to you guys later, alright? Bye-bye.